Oh no!
No, it can't be. No. Stop!
Oh my god, no! Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to AI, the Somnium Files. So, Iris has officially become the most suspicious person out of everyone else, because in every single timeline, she is super suspicious in some way, shape, or form. Now, that could be a massive red herring. It's true. But at the same time, if it's not, then it's kind of obvious, and I kind of hope it's a red herring. But we've also found out... Oh, wow, it's even showing memories from other timelines that I did. That's interesting. Anyway, you called Ota here?
No, I didn't tell him to come. He just showed up on his own.
That is not true. I don't believe you. Never thought I'd run into you here.
I was nihiling with Tessa earlier. She said she was going to Marbles, so I got here just before you did. Look, I was really worried about her. She was about to be charged with a serious crime.
Yeah, did you ever think that maybe she committed that serious crime? Did you think that that might be a thing? Isn't your phone broken?
No, this is my new one. You're thinking of the one I dropped in that puddle.
Yes. Where's Mama?
Oh, she left a little while ago.
Why isn't she here? What have you done to Mama? You leave Mama alone!
She said something about going to help an acquaintance. She told me to watch the place until she got back.
How well do you know Mama?
Not at all. It's my first time here.
I wasn't particularly surprised. I was always dependent on the kindness of strangers ever since she opened Marble. What was that thing about?
This actually works out nicely. I want to ask you something, Ota. It's about a Nile message you sent Iris. You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that thing. That you'd stay quiet no matter what. What were you talking about?
Well,
I'll tell her about the two-witter thing. I swear I'll do it.
Geez, fine. Just don't tell anyone else, okay? But before I tell you, who's that?
What?
At the door. Someone's standing outside.
No! Oh my god, again?! Oh no, and this time I was short-circuited! Fuck! Juke Kai. Oh my god, Monday, day 4. What? Okay. This time we don't have a recording of what happened. When I woke up, I was lying on the sofa.
Where am I?
My head was killing me and my memory was foggy. Suddenly felt a pain in my neck. Hi, Mama! I shot up, rubbing my neck. When I look over the counter, I saw a monster staring back at me. It took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama.
It looks like you're awake now.
As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remembered everything. Where's Ota?
Ota? The boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
Well, good. Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
Didn't
No,
have a single drop.
I was tased.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
Okay, how much do you know about me? What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
Fuck. Uh-oh.
Date, the boss is calling.
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency.
I knew it! The same thing is happening!
Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video. I sent the address to Iba.
Yeah! It's the same fucking thing! Although maybe this time she won't survive.
Iris.
Oh, damn.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Iba, the source.
Identify. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
On the way. I thanked Mama and ran out of marble. I mean, it's telling that the exact same thing keeps happening. Oh, car chase!
What's our ETA?
Our destination is far from here. 20 minutes at the fastest.
Please, please let me make it in time.
It's gonna be the
That sick bastard.
polar bear again. Is Ota gonna save him this time, though?
Tessa!
Yep.
Hold on! I'll save you!
Ota.
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
Huh. I kept my foot on the gas the whole time. I could feel the sweat on my palms. The engine raised a high-pitched scream. I could barely hear it. My heartbeat was pounding in my ears, shaking me to the core. How much time had passed? The feeling of time itself had disappeared. Eventually, the car reached a long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. Oh no!
No, it can't be. No. Stop!
Oh my god, no! Oh my god! Holy fuck!
No!
Oh my god! Okay, so okay, I was wrong. We're definitely in different timelines here. Two cars again. What the fuck? Ota!
Ota.
Oh my god! Oh my god. What the fuck happened?
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you. It's rare to see you down like this,
Well, 2 people are dead!
but it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you?
Yes!
Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife. Killed her, then killed himself.
But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, because we saw... Why would they go through the whole thing of, like, stay away from Tessa sort of thing again? That was the case.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other 2 murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those 3 murders were definitely executed by the same person. The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions. Like killing Iris.
Such as?
Ota's behavior during the video.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself? I don't buy it.
Ota had no incentive to kill Renju.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it, making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
What about the polar bear costume?
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
Yeah. Ota had no incentive to kill Shoko either.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
Told boss what Iva found.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice-cutting machine.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
That would make sense, honestly.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine, and then...
God.
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
No fucking clue
We're
anymore.
up to 4 victims, but Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Right.
He's more...
And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims, Shoko, Renju, and Iris.
There's a lot of connection between them.
What connects these 3?
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
You
Yep.
think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. But it's a good starting point.
We still don't know who was in the polar bear outfit. Like, we're assuming that it was Sejima, but there's no actual proof for that. Even in his ending, we didn't find out if that was true.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renji were her parents. And she was close friends with Iris. She was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
Yeah. Iris's mother, Hitomi.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked.
Yeah, but how?
They were high school classmates, and she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way. No matter what the circumstances were, it seems impossible to me.
Yeah, but nothing's impossible, sadly. Ota's
Mayumi
mother.
had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Moma
Renju
Kumakura.
and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris.
It's true. Congressman Sejima.
Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras. But again, I can't see any clear link to Iris.
Me.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is 0 possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Oh, thank you, Aiba. Not innocent to the first murders, though.
Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit, to get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
God damn. Well, let's go back here first. Jeezums. Stepped into the cold storage warehouse. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hadn't raised much at all. Cold air sunk into my skin. But the center of my body was burning hot. Fuck. Jesus. Oh, man. I just want to check the flowchart real quick, see where we are. Okay, we're just barely into it. Yeah, jumping into Ota is like the branching point here. Here, though, it's very different because it goes with Iris. Huh. I have a feeling that the red line here is probably going to extend further. At least that's my guess. Because it's like the one that's like where we start with, so I'm guessing that's the one that's going to continue on for like a true ending sort of thing. But I'm not positive of that one. Sorry, I was just kind of rambling, I know. It's time to investigate.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
She was breathing the first time.
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse, Okiura Fishery Co. However, I found the password.
Okay,
I
yeah.
have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiura. Renju's father created.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery the company has been managed by
this we know.
Sure.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
Okay. Anything? Nothing in the dark over there. Oil drum. Unlikely to be a clue. The shelves. Don't see any clues. Hello, sir. Any progress?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Okay. Cardboard box. Nothing in it. Another box. Empty. The shelves
There are
themselves.
only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
Bloodstain B. This Ota's blood? Evidence marker. Little marker. Yep. Bloodstain A. Iris and Ota's blood. Workbench.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right. About that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Okay. Ice cutting machine. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
She was breathing in the first video, but not breathing in the second.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
Overhead crane. Nope.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Yeah, what about this one, though? Nothing special about it. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
What else is there? What am I not finding? Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Ota ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume and then finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
I wonder.
Date, we should get moving.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's the best idea, but here's something important to think about, guys. So they found Shoko's eyeball in Renju, right? In his digestive tract. So someone probably force-fed it to him when he was alive, because it was partially digested. Then tore out his eye. Whoever this is, are they feeding people's eyeballs to the next victim? I mean, that's fucked up, but it's definitely possible.
Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
I'm heading out. Let me know if you find anything. Let them know. Then left the warehouse. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
about the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little...
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
All right, let's hear it.
What is this about? I know the boss is tight-lipped on it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Yeah.
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer, although it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of...
Oh my god!
They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
This is new! Why did the Cyclops case get classified?
That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
Huh.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
What about Rohan?
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial
So it
killer.
was more than one person.
At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Who is the murderous psychopath?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
Oh.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
Murder.
What was it?
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine.
I have a feeling that, I mean, like, obviously this is why most killers end up killing people. Like, well, serial killers. Most time when people murder, they don't, like, from things that I've read, I'm no expert. But, you know, like, there's reason in scientific study to believe that the reason serial killers exist is because of this. They get that feeling of accomplishment, that dopamine, that feeling of everything is great when they murder someone. But, you know, dear God, like most people, if they murder for someone, it's either by accident or it's like for like, you know, money or some other sort of thing, you know? Most people don't get a joy out of killing people.
Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Oh my god. Is it me? Like, is it the main character? Is it Date?
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice,
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
and one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. That means one remains. Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Oh my god.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogunadami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
That makes sense. Thank you for that, man. Dear God, though. God, that's a terrifying thought. Like, you know, most people's brains are not wired that way. Most people's brains are wired that when they hurt people, like, you know, they feel bad. They feel guilt on some level. It may not be like the deepest emotional level, but like, for example, like anytime I see someone in pain, doesn't matter who it is, except if it's like a murderous scumbag. If a murderous scumbag is in pain, I'm not gonna deny. I'm just kind of like, yeah, you deserve that sort of thing. But like, God, that's just so fucked up, man. The place was silent. It was so quiet I felt like I could hear the floating dust. I stepped inside, thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching a decaying old tree clinging pathetically to the ground. Oh, God. Now we get to deliver the horrible news, don't we? God damn it. I'm sorry to interrupt. God, she's like catatonic. About Ota. What do you want to talk about?
This is your fault. I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder what would have happened if I'd have gotten this ending, well, this route, before I got the route where I saw them happy. Oh my God, it just hurts so much more. Let's go to the Sagan residence. When I visited the Sagan household, I found Hitomi with a hollow look in her eyes. God, any parent would be after losing their child. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down. But after that, I couldn't say a single word. The heavy silence weighed on both of us. Why did we see this in my original dream? Why? Oh my God. Steam is rising from the tea. About Iris.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together, whether it was buying clothes or going to the movies or taking a walk or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. And it was 2, then 3. And finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up.
I'm so sorry. Iris is still the most suspicious person in that other timeline, but I mean, like, obviously there's someone else at large. Someone else is doing this. But who is it? I don't know.
Oda was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
Can you think of any information, anything?
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but...
No, please. Tell me.
Anything.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Prison?
What?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger. I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison, in Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
Maybe one or both of them there went to go see number 89.
Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her, but why?
God damn it. God, it
I'm
hurts.
sorry to have bothered you.
Oh, God, it hurts. Even with not knowing the full truth, what matters is that that woman lost her daughter. I don't know the actress in this one. Dorothy something. I can't remember her last name. Someone I've never heard of before, but dear God, like... Oh, I am not ashamed to admit I'm wiping away a few tears here, guys. God. Getting emotional in my old age, you know?
I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Dante, please, you have to catch them. Please. Please.
I will. Trust me.
Well, I guess it's time to find the truth. It is. Oh, God. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts a lot. Let's go check on Mizuki. Sorry. Oh, boy. Oh. This timeline is heavy. This is a heavy timeline. Mizuki is curled up on the sofa. She'll look like a small animal frightened by a predator. Let's ask about the warehouse first. I don't think she's gonna talk to us right now. She's gone catatonic all over it again.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet, not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
Yeah.
No, don't. I hate when people ask, are you okay? We all know it's not true. You all know it's not true. She's not okay. So stop asking people that you know are not okay if they're okay. Be smarter, be better. I can't stay by her side forever.
Aiba, contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
I stayed with her for a little while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing left to say, I left. Let's go talk to Mama. Mama always cheers me up.
Are you okay, honey?
Huh?
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Tell me.
What is it, Mama? What do you got?
The Kumakuras are involved in this case. Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras?
Yeah.
Shoko also has a relationship with them. You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2, 3.
3? Iris?
No, not that one. The boy. He came here last night.
Ota?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
What? How is Oda linked to the Kumakuras?
Have you heard the rumor?
Mama told me a similar story to Aiba's. About Sosajima and the Kawasaki district. Basic idea is this. 8 years ago, Sol sold his land in the Kawasaki district for 30 billion yen. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land prices to drop dramatically, so he bought back the land for $1 billion. It's almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. So, did So blow it up or conspire to blow it up? That wouldn't make sense. So you wouldn't gain anything from that, except for the 29 billion yen. So he would end up with 29 billion in cash and 1 billion in land. It's a net zero. Why is it a net zero? I mean, if you sell something, like your land and everything, it doesn't mean like all of a sudden you lose all of your money, you just lose your land. Yeah, there could be a lot of money tied into that land, but you would make more money by selling it. So in the Kawasaki district.
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies. They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you. The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kawasaki.
Okay, so what does this have to do with everything?
Now, back to So. Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kawasaki? So was the one who came up with it.
Huh.
I was born and raised in Kawasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kawasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, My heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kabasaki district at any cost. Casino Town Kabasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places. The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kabasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off limits. However, the air in Kabasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
Huh.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kabasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE, and by So himself. The land he bought back for $1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
So and the Kabasaki district, again?
This is just another rumor, but the chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip.
Ota and the Kamakuras.
What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kabasaki district?
Yeah?
The chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down. Ota must hold a grudge. Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
That would make sense. Alright. Thanks, Mama.
Thank you, Mama. I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
No, it was very helpful.
Indeed it was. Thank you, Mama.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
Oh, going back to Abyss, huh? I returned to Boss's office to report. But I didn't see her anywhere.
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
True.
Sat down on my usual seat and decided to wait for Boss. Ha!
What are you doing?
I thought it would be easier to talk like this.
What do we have to talk about?
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
What summary? We don't have anything new.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research about number 89.
I was wondering if we were ever going to go back to him. Oh, whoopsie. I kept thinking about that. Okay, what's the relationship between 89 and Shoko?
Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuji Prison's wait. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89. After all, Fuji Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
It is possible.
Or he may have seen it on the news. They have the news in prison. What's 89's real name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
No such person is listed in the family registry. It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown. However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan.
Okay. 89 to the new Cyclops killing.
Peter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial killings. One was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves 1 culprit still alive, number 89.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is accurate to claim that he had nothing to do with the incident.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
If he was telling the truth. His involvement is possible.
Who is he?
As you know, he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills. He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
That's what Pewter told us.
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police.
On other charges, apparently. Now let's talk about 89.
Let's talk to number 89.
I don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's full of it, but he's our last remaining loose end.
All right. However, we need not go to him. We can bring him to us. If we plan on syncing with him, it would be more efficient.
Can you arrange that?
I can.
Oh! That's surprising. After cutting through some red tape, 89 was brought to HQ. He took considerable time to arrive, but for some reason, Boss never showed up. Why did Boss not show up? That's him! That's the guy. The guy from our dream. One who killed Hitomi in our dream.
Sorry to interrupt your busy day, but I need you to tell me something. I'd appreciate your cooperation.
I know Pewter's behind me. Here's my question. Why isn't the boss here? My guess is that she has some kind of connection with him. Maybe like a family member or friend was murdered by them? I'm not certain. Do you know Shoko Nadami?
Yeah, I guess I do.
About a month ago, Shoko visited Fuchu Prison. Was she there to see you?
That's right.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You're in no position to lie.
I'm not lying. She didn't come to hear me talk.
And why did she come?
To meet me.
Meet you?
She probably just wanted to see me.
Why? When did you first meet Shoko?
A long time ago. I don't remember exactly when.
What's your relationship to her?
A physical one.
Oh.
I'm kidding. She was just a business partner.
A business partner? You're the original Cyclops killer, aren't you?
That's right. I was one of the culprits behind the case 6 years ago. One of the two Cyclops killers.
What's your name?
Number 89.
Your real name?
I don't remember.
Where are you from?
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso is a republic in West Africa. Population 17 million.
I don't have time for your jokes.
Who killed Shoko Nadami?
All right, let's get right down to it. 2 days ago, you called Investigation HQ and said, I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That's right.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
It's done. You've got a deal.
All right, but to explain it properly, I need to tell you a story. It might take some time. Is that all right with you?
I've got nothing but time.
Maybe you do, buddy, but unfortunately I'm getting close to the end of the episode here, man.
Then let's get started. The story of a lonely assassin.
Yeah, I think we'll go...
Once upon a time, there was a detective, full of righteous justice.
Oh. Well, yeah, we're going to be going over time for this episode, but I really want to see this. So we're going to, get through this, and then we'll save.
Let's call him F. F found the evils of the world intolerable. F had no parents, no siblings, and grew up in an orphanage since he was born. He suffered every kind of abuse imaginable there. It led him to despise all the evils of the world. One day, F was chasing a thug down at the harbor. Someone wanted for the assault and murder of women.
Okay, I get it. I'll just throw down my knife. Here. You lower your gun. It's fine. I got nothing else on me. I'll go quietly. You know, I have a history with hospitals. I've been going to a special hospital for a while. Even if I get caught, it's all good. I'll come right back out again. What should I do next time? Just thinking about it gets me excited.
Damn.
The culprit was unarmed, but F never served a day in prison. The case went to trial for some time, but it was determined to be self-defense, and he was declared innocent. If the truth got out, it would be a huge scandal for the police. People at the upper level were terrified of what might happen, so they had evidence fabricated. F wasn't suspended or disciplined at all. After a while, he returned to his job like nothing happened.
Wow.
That was a turning point for him. He was ready to shed the morality that was weighing him down, holding him back. F still wanted justice, and he was willing to dispense it to the immoral, one by one. He became an assassin, a lone gunman. No agent, no employer. He was his own man. F believed that he was judge, jury, and executioner. But it didn't last long. One day, F got rid of a criminal we'll call X. X was responsible for defrauding and killing an innocent old man for his life insurance policy. Turns out, X had connections. Someone wasn't happy that he died. Rohan Kumakura, chairman of the Kumakuras. X was a top executive of the Kumakuras at the time. Rohan ordered his men to find and kidnap F.
I get it. Basically blackmailed into it.
I've done some research. I know you've cleaned up at least 18 pieces of scum from this earth, but somehow there hasn't been a single criminal investigation. They're all treated as suicides, accidents, or natural causes. Amazing work. I'm impressed. How about you work for us? Of course, you have the right to say no, but it'll be the last word out of your mouth.
F was trapped. Even if he somehow survived, he would be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. He had no choice but to take Rohan's offer. Thus, F's self-employment came to an end. He became a hired gun of the Kumakuras. Rohan even gave him a code name, Falco, named for the falcon, a bird of prey.
Damn.
Falco didn't quit his job as a police officer, though. He worked as a detective by day, assassin by night, at the will of the organization. An ordinary killer would need motive to take a life, but not Falco. He did as he was told, one target after another. It didn't take long to destroy his heart completely.
Huh. Doesn't seem like the emotionless killer.
Time passed, and a few years back, Falco, who by this time was exhausted in body and spirit, made a fatal mistake. He missed his mark and ended up taking a bullet to the stomach. Somehow, he managed to escape. After reaching a nearby shrine, his legs finally gave out under him. He had no strength left. He put his back up against the shrine and let out a moaning breath that he thought might be his last. But at that moment, in his darkening vision, he saw a woman approach him. He watched her take out her phone and dial for help. At the same time, he heard footsteps of at least 2 people closing in. He knew immediately that they were after him. He sprung into action, grabbing the woman and pulling her close, kissing her to keep her from talking.
Oh my god.
That was the first encounter between Falco and the woman.
And the woman, it looked like the woman was, Iris's mother. Oh my god, if I'm right, Iris is the daughter of that serial killer, of him.
She was a teacher at some school.
Yup, it's Hitomi.
It's like she was from a totally different world than him. Listening to her talk, he would forget everything about his line of work. She was his only contact with the ordinary, mundane world. They met in secret a few more times, and Falco felt his heart grow warmer. Her smile and kindness were like a cold glass of water for Falco's parched heart. Falco started to become himself again. His former self. He swore on his life that from then on, he would live for her.
So, you want to go clean? Fine. Do as you please. You've done a lot for us, but there is one last thing. One final job I want you to do for me. It's nothing major. This woman and her daughter. I need you to dispose of them. Should be simple, no?
Rohan handed Falco a picture of a woman and a girl. It was the teacher Falco met at the shrine, and her daughter. She had just turned 12. Why the two of them? Rohan, as usual, never gave a reason. And Falco had no intention of carrying out the kill, but if he didn't, he knew that someone else would. He thought long and hard. How was he going to keep them safe and get out of the life of crime? He couldn't find an answer, no matter how hard he thought. He was backed into a corner. So, he decided to call on an old friend for help. And then...
Silence. For some reason he wouldn't open his mouth again. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, but we've gone way over time, and now is the only time. Huh. Now is the only time I'm gonna get to save, so I'm gonna save real quick. But there is something that doesn't make sense. Something that doesn't make sense with this whole thing. Pewter said that the killer only got, like, an emotional response. He only ever felt happy when he was murdering people. But according to this guy in his story, that's not true! What is going on here? Jesus! God, I don't know! I'm getting closer and closer, but, like, the deeper I get, the more I don't understand! But we're gonna have to leave that for next time. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Next time we're gonna finish number 89's backstory and figure out just what the fuck is going on. But either way, thanks again, and until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.